last time we managed to convince Gina that it was in her best interest for us to be her lawyer and for her to care about her best interests, which is both progress. So that's nice. Also, this is the last case of this game, of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures, and there's 1 day of trial, and there are like 15 unanswered questions. Like, who killed Mr. Windibank? And possibly, who killed Magnus McGilded? Or perhaps, is Magnus McGilded actually dead? Or did Magnus McGilded fake his death via conflagration? If so, who died in the Magnus McGilded conflagration? Also, what's the deal with Susato and Scholz? Also, what's the deal with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court? Also, anyway, these two games were originally meant to be one games, so some things are left unresolved in the first games. Awesome, amazing, incredible. Let us continue with the trial of Gina Lestrade. Oh, and it's, well, it is England. It makes sense. Oh, it's a very important and eventful day. Okay. Alright. Looking forward to that. Defendant's antechamber in the Old Bailey. Can we, though? Are we sure that she's... Oh. Gina, did you not hear that Susato was leaving? Yeah, Susato's not here. Yeah, Susato's not here. She went back to Japan because her dad's sick. Or possibly because she's involved in a massive conspiracy with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, the ends and means of which are as yet unrevealed to me. It's one of those. Anyway, we have a new Maya. Her name is Iris. I imagine there will be a scene shortly wherein Iris establishes herself as the new Maya to the point of wanting to help us with the trial or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, you'll definitely see her again, Ryu. She's definitely not gonna die or turn heel or whatever. This'll be fine. She could turn heel and die. That's possible. I've seen plenty of James Bond movies where the girl turns heel and then dies. Hi, Iris. And also Kitty. You're still not supporting the cat's butt. Didn't I tell you to support that cat's butt? You're gonna fuck the cat's shoulders. Don't fuck Wagahai's shoulders. Why did you bring the cat? Couldn't you leave the cat in the apartment? Okay. Alright. I mean, yeah. Okay, can Wagahai be the new Maya? Can we have a kitty Maya? Oh, bye. Okay. Well, this is why you don't take your cats outside. Your cat's a cat and will just leave. Okay. What harm could it? Yeah, this is a cat. It's not like they're fragile mammalian creatures with paper-thin skulls or whatever. Okay, you bought a newspaper. That's nice of you. Oh, there's good news and bad news. Good news first. Good news first. Oh, okay, that's all. That's a fair and reasonable assumption. I'm sure it's plot relevant that we get the bad news first. Iris, it's not that deep. Record amount of rain has fallen this morning. How is that in the newspaper? I'm sorry, how often are these things printed? You could say that a record amount of rain was projected to fall. But how can this newspaper say that a record amount of rain has fallen this morning? I don't... Okay. I mean, listen, there's like an evening edition. I would believe this if this was the evening edition. If it's like, 6 p.m. and you stop by the corner store and they're just getting the evening edition newspaper, which happens to say, hope that Susie made her train to Dover and, okay. Yeah, what's the good news? It's gonna stop raining. Okay. I'm sure this newspaper is gonna help us solve this murder somehow. Okay. So the bad news is it's raining. Okay. Okay. It's unfortunate that the word pick purse is in the headline there, because it kind of casts aspersions on our client, but I suppose if someone's been arrested for murder, one can expect to have one's name dragged through the proverbial journalistic mud. Huh. Yeah. Oh God. Sam wants to know if I have any guesses for who's going to be on the jury for this case. I mean, it should be 6 randos, right? It should be just 6 people we've never met. I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm going to go with Bruce Fairplay. Bruce Fairplay is going to sit on a second consecutive jury with me. Bruce Fairplay, 2 funny English stereotypes, 1 horrendous racial stereotype. The guy who had his wife throw a book and also a knife at him in the last case, whose name I've forgotten. The guy who owns a cannon and gets tea on himself and that sort of thing. That guy. And also the lady who wound up getting stabbed in that case. So my official guesses for the 6 jurors for this trial are literally Bruce Fairplay, 2 funny English stereotypes, 1 offensive racial stereotype, the old guy who had the book and the knife thrown at him, and the lady who got stabbed by the knife in the book. Those are the 6 jurors. Sure. Let's do that. Let's hope so, Iris. You have absolute faith in me. That's okay. I mean, listen, if you're literally auditioning for the role of the Maya, so it's good of you to. Okay. All right. You'll do what you can. Great. Can we examine this newspaper in our court record and see what we might learn from it? Pawnbroker perishes in pick purse plunder. Yeah, that's true. There's an article about Mr. Windibank's murder. And this other article is seemingly irrelevant. Ministry mole. Classified ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We were told that there was an emergency at the Supreme Court. Secret communications between Great Britain and its allies are being intercepted by... Oh, that's bad, probably. That seems bad. I don't know. They could be spying. There could be a mole. Given that the headline includes the word mole, I'm thinking that they think there's a mole. Uh-huh. It could be. could also be. The details of today's paper have been updated in... Okay. I'm sure we'll get to how high-level political intrigue bordering on potential espionage has a direct impact on what by all accounts appears to be a botched armed robbery. Like these two jamokes who we saw who shot Herlock and Ryu couldn't find, those guys were just there robbing the store and they shot Mr. Windibank. Or maybe they wanted Iris's book. Or perhaps they were spies from the future sent to retrieve Herlock Sholmes's 0.000555555 FPS video camera. It's one of those. Okay. Do we get anything special about the... How do I rotate this damn thing? I don't know. Do we get anything special about Mr. Windibank here, Iris? Yeah, it's kind of a biased headline. It's slanted. Yeah, you just said that. We just had that line. Uh-huh. Proud pick... I don't think she's gonna become an eco-terrorist. She could become an eco-terrorist. Listen, more people should become eco-terrorists, but I should probably stop talking now. It's gonna be so great. Oh, it's gonna be great. This is gonna... Okay. You've got a bazooka. I suppose that's... Well... Everybody could use a bazooka. Right? That's a good question. None of these people know that Herlock Sholmes was healthy and mended enough to have a secret conversation with a lady last night. So... Hey, operation was a great success. But he still hasn't come around, except for the fact that he's lying. He's faking. He's in a FOMA. It's not a real coma. He's in a FOMA. It's okay. Probably a reason he's in a FOMA, but... Ryu, has Herlock Sholmes ever helped you in court? I don't think Herlock... Actually, wait, didn't we do a deduction in the last... Okay, we did a deduction in... Okay. Trial's about to begin. Okay. Alright. Here we go. This is gonna be fine. Poor Gina. I mean, yeah, she's about to be convicted of murder, probably. Hi, Kazuma. Is it gonna turn out that the Russian ballet princess was sent to assassinate you by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court because we can't possibly let any Japanese people become lawyers? I don't think that's gonna be the reasoning, but, you know, who's to say? I hereby declare this court to be in session. That's true. We're good to go. Oh, hi, Van Zieks. Again. Listen, how many fucking prosecutors are there in this country? Is it 2? Because I think it's 2. Actually, wait a second. The great descendant of the ancestor of the bald guy was in Japan. I think there's only 1 prosecutor. I think you're the only prosecutor this country's got, buddy. It was a while. And then you came back, and now you're working 3 cases in 2 months. Is there a reason for this? So he used to be a big deal guy, and now he's a target me and me specifically guy. Hold on, wait a second. There is literally actually a conspiracy against me, isn't there? I don't know what Ryu did to deserve this. Maybe there's a conspiracy to undermine all of Japan. Maybe all of the buttering up of Great Britain that this game has done through the entire first 4 cases has just been a smokescreen, and it turns out that the real villains are the British all along. Which, I mean, is an incomplete but surprisingly accurate summation of the last 600 years? Like, especially if you're willing to count Americans as just fancy evolved British. Because, like, on the global scale, and particularly the general badness scale, America is just a fancy evolved Britain, right? So if you're willing to give that, then the real villains were the British all along is a really good summation of just like the last 700 years. Anyway, a simple case of burglary and murder. Well, you see, Your Honor, I'm part of a massive conspiracy against the defense attorney. No? Okay. That would explain why he tried to prosecute Magnus McGilded, and also why he murdered Magnus McGilded, but... Uh-huh. Even more loathsome. Wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal, which is why you went after Japanese dude suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning and a pickpocket. Oh, no. Okay, he's just Goldmember, except, like, hating the Dutch is a funny bit, and hating the Japanese is actually exceedingly bad. It's like, this dude just straight up does not like Japanese people. Okay. I kind of didn't expect it to become text, but it is apparently just straight up text that the prosecutor is a fucking racist who hates Japanese people so fucking much. Well, I mean, the judiciary welcomes the return. Yup. Okay, so let's put ourselves in his Honor's shoes here. He gets curious, right? Because, like, here's this legendary prosecutor, goes away for 5 years. Okay, fine, whatever. And then it's like, hey, the legendary prosecutor's back. Except, well, the legendary prosecutor's trying a murder. Okay. Murder involving a very famous high-profile individual. Makes sense. And then his next 2 prosecutions are attempted murder, lower profile charge, and burglary and murder of a shopkeep, which, listen, is a bad thing, but it's not, you know... It's not, say, the richest, famousest man in all of jolly London town's on trial for murder. It's this pickpocket street urchin is on trial for murder. It happens. So His Honor gets a little confused and he asks the prosecutor, hey, bud, you went away for 5 years, came back for one big deal case, and now you're just What, back in the game, taking anything that comes across your docket? What's your deal here? It's a fairly reasonable question for a judge to ask of a prosecutor. Maybe not at the start of a trial, but hey, for all I know, there are very strict rules about judges and prosecutors interacting outside of court. For all I know, His Honor thinks that, for all I know, the Reaper and the Bailey is completely unreachable by any means other than direct discussion while in court. That would track with his whole deal, right? It's entirely possible that when court is not in session, the Reaper of the Bailey just turns into a bat and flies into some rafter, not to be seen again until the next time a gavel is banged. Fine, whatever. So His Honor the Judge asks a totally reasonable question of the prosecutor. Hey buddy, you went away for 5 years, you came back for a big deal murder trial, and now you're just taking anything? I don't get it, what's your deal? And the Reaper of the Bailey responds, well, you see, Your Honor, there are two kinds of people I hate. The richest, famousest man in all of jolly London town who's actually a murdering shitbag, and everyone from Japan. And the judge just kind of shrugs and says, okay, let's move on then. Glad to have you back, friendo. Okay, so there are 6 jurors, and one more time to recap, my official guess is that the 6 jurors are Bruce Fairplay, 2 funny English stereotypes, 1 terrible racist stereotype, the dude who had the book knife thrown at him, and the lady who got stabbed by the book knife. How close am I to right? I've got one of them! I've got one of them! I got one of them right! I got one of them dead flat right! Okay, so we've got, hold on, so we've got, from left to right here, we've got the dude who had the book knife thrown at him, fucking nailed it, fucking called that, good job, Goog. We've got, the sullen maid from 2 cases ago, I think. We've got a potential funny English stereotype. I don't think we've met this guy, that 3rd guy. The 4th guy is very familiar to me. I think the 4th guy is the guy who was falling asleep in the last case, who had the green coat and looked a little bit like the victim, but also he's a doctor now. I think that's that guy. The fifth person is, I know we've seen her before. The 5th person is a court reporter type person who's just typing up everything that's said. And then the 6th person is perhaps the actual dude who the Russian ballerina was impersonating all those many months ago. That is the actual dude who escaped from evil Russia. Or perhaps that is just the Russian ballerina wearing her actual Russian dude costume. Okay. Clean crockery. Yep. Hi, what is your deal? What is, oh no! Oh, this is stereoscope fetishes. Oh, fuck. Okay. This is a doctor who left a sponge in a patient. Oh, our typewriter lady has evolved into telegraph lady. Cool. Okay, so how did they get the literal, actual Russian revolutionary onto this jury? Did they just... do they just have a bus that drives through the heart of jolly London town, plucking randos off the street and dragging them into juries? Because I don't understand how did this guy get summoned for jury duty, right? Here, in his opening statement, he's making it clear that he's a visitor. He is not a citizen of this land. I don't understand why he's serving on a jury. I don't... Okay. Suppose I shouldn't ask too much of our video game. Almost all of them. Yeah, everyone except the Stereoscope Fetishist. And for all I know, the Stereoscope Fetishist is just a guy we've met before who I don't remember, who in the interregnum between the last time we saw him and now has become a Stereoscope Fetishist. And yes, Sam, I understand that the game is supposed to be silly, but there's a level of silly which I cannot accept. There's a level of silly where it's like, okay, come on now. Come on, how am I supposed... Like, they're supposed to be silly, but there's also supposed to be, like, emotional stakes, right? We're supposed to care that our good friend Gina Lestrade is on trial for murder. We're supposed to have feelings about this big, massive conspiracy that's apparently happening at the Supreme Court. How am I supposed to contain those feelings and hold on to that, while at the same time, the entire jury trial system is an absolute farce? At random from London 6 million. Bullshit. 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 Introduce the facts of the case. Okay, well, a guy's dead. I don't think that's true, but okay. The victim, Pop Windebank, was proprietor of a pawn shop. He was shot. Okay. Yep. We have a photographic print showing that he was shot. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. The way the threads on that sweater vest are flared, it almost makes it look like that's an exit wound and not an entrance wound. But I might be, wrong. Bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near instant death. Well, that seems bad. Bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. Hold on a second. Well, if you get... Wait. If you get shot... I don't understand how that makes sense, but okay. Significantly lower in height. Maybe someone was on the ground or something. Well, or that. I mean, yeah. Okay, there are many reasons for a person to be lower than another person. Autopsy report and crime scene photograph are evidence. Great, awesome, amazing. I love that for me. Okay. This plan of the... Okay, so we've got a floor plan of Windebanks. Great. Very helpful. Mm-hmm. Yep. The sealed chamber. Note how they don't just say locked room, even though this is a locked room mystery. There were only 2 persons present. And this is a locked room mystery that doesn't even have a hole in the wall the size of a dude through which anyone could have crawled. That we know of. It's entirely possible that there is an as-yet undiscovered hole in the wall the size of a dude through which anyone could have crawled. But, well... yeah, that seems bad. That's... Okay, that's only literally true. That's only like a factual statement. That's, I mean... it doesn't look great. It doesn't look...
Objection!
Okay. Listen. That's a way to start. You're not wrong. He's not wrong. You have more? Oh, you have more. Oh, do you also have the sworn statement and testimony of two dudes who happened to shoot Sherlock Holmes last night? There were witnesses. How could there possibly have been witnesses? Okay. I mean, this is bad, but, you know, it's supposed to look bad before it looks better. No, it's not good. Here, let's examine these new pieces of evidence and see if we can learn any upcoming plot twists from them. Oh, Lord. Okay, so the autopsy report. Single bullet wound to the back, no other signs of trauma. Alright, so you died on the 16th between 1 and 1:30. It was reported by me. That's true, actually. Dr. Stevens was the coroner. Single bullet wound in upper half of victim's back, no other visible signs of trauma. Okay, so that means there's no exit wound. It had to go in through the back and it... okay. Instant death from a posterior-anterior bullet wound to the heart. Bullet entered the body from the back on a gently rising diagonal. Okay. I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, that all tracks. That's factually consistent. And in here we have... Okay, so this isn't one of those glary talky things. This is one of those, hey, look, a bullet hole things. Yeah, okay. So we got a bullet hole and a dude and some blood, which we know from our blood thinging to be the blood of the dude. Okay. And then a floor plan of the thing, which again is just a hey, look at this thing. You're here, you enter here, you got the counter, you got your thing, you got your thing, you got your stuff, you go around the back, you go in the room, and there's a corpse, and there's a sleeping kid. So, seems great. And then there was the gun. Okay, the gun we can actually properly look at. Hey, look, a gun. Hi, Iris. You want to see a gun? He used to threaten to commit seppuku. I don't know how you pronounce that. I've only read about it on internet forums, which is a great way for a white guy to talk about a great and noble Japanese tradition, is to parrot the things he saw on internet forums. Anyway. Yep, that's what happened, Ryu. It's possible. It's entirely conceivable. Okay, it's true. Yeah, everything you read on the internet is true, including that everything you read on the internet is true. Great. It doesn't look good. Iris, you had to know going in that it didn't look good. You were present with us when we gathered, like, all of these facts. Nothing that's been said in court to this point is new. It's just presenting established facts in an order that makes it look very bad for the defendant, which is, to be fair, prosecution 101. You establish facts, and then you present those facts in such a way that makes it look very bad for the defendant. And then you have witnesses. And unfortunately, what in the cotton blasting fuck? I don't... He's a professional baddie. And he's got a pair. Okay, what's with your skull and bones pins? Did you guys go to Yale? Hold on. Did you guys go to Yale with President Bush? Or, alright. His name's Ringo Skulkin. Okay. So Nash and Ringo are okay. And Bobby Fish and Chips. Hold on. Nash, Ringo, and Bobby Fish and Chips are all taking the stand at the same goddamn time? Okay. The three Skulkin I don't think Bobby Fish and Chips agreed to be part of the Skulkin brothers. I think he sat in rehearsals for this pose, and every time they did it, he said, I'm not doing that. And they insisted that when it came time to do it, he would do it. And now it's time to do it, and he's not doing it. So, yeah, he's not doing the pose. He's not doing the pose. He's not doing the pose. Our older bruv lost contact with him. Oh, so you're used to being the three. Okay. Okay. All right. Very spit of the bloke. Okay. Bobby Fish and Chips is big bruv sulky, huh? Okay. Alright. I'm fine with that. That works for me. Sulky! Nope. Nope, it's sulky now. That's a good question. Did you actually see a thing? No. Well... These two, listen, buddy. This dude's a different kind of criminal in that he's a cop, which means that, well, anyway, they illegally entered it. Yeah, okay. So, I'm sorry. So you broke into Windibank's intending to rob Windibank's. Windibank wound up dead. And nobody even considered for one brief and shining moment that either one of you might possibly have pulled the trigger. Really? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Sure. Sure you did. Absolutely. Oh, no, of course it's not. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's like Sholmes' camera. Anything in that building is always that's true. It's in exactly the right place at the right time. Like the box on the shelf that we were supposed to grab that is clearly obvious and right there, and we tried to grab twice. Not the right time. Mm-hmm. Skulkin's never skulkin', huh? Is there a call and response in this catchphrase, boys? It's just framing. It's the camera. It's where she's standing in camp. But I feel like there's just a tiny little Lazelle here. Like Clippy, ready to pop up and say, it looks like you're having dialogue. Do you know which option you want to choose?